The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
And good morning here at 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. It is warming up out there. Definitely starting to feel like May.
Hey, buckle up, everyone. We're going to see our hottest day of the year. And Kevin is giving us a look at our forecast. And boy, those are some high numbers, Kev.
Yeah, we are going to be pushing near 100 today. Our warmest day so far for 2021 is 94 degrees, and today we will be above that. Let's take you outside right now. We've got upper 60s under clear skies for Bakersfield this time. Light wind out of the southeast at 6. As we take a look at the dog walk forecast for today, you can see that warm-up that's going to take place by 11 o'clock. We're at 87, where we get those hottest temperatures between 2 and 5, and by 5 o'clock, look at that, 98 degrees, but then back into the 80s right around 8 p.m. Into the mountains right now, we've got clear skies and 54. No winds to talk about. We'll see a light breeze throughout the afternoon. You also are going to warm up into the 80s by 3 o'clock. You're looking at 84. How long will this heat last? I've got more details on that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. We begin this morning with the latest on the effort to recall Governor Gavin Newsom. The governor and his opponent, John Cox, kicked off campaign events, and Caitlyn Jenner released a new ad. 17's Ashley Zavala has the details from Sacramento.
We are a no on the recall.
Governor Gavin Newsom getting elbow bumps and endorsements from the California Professional Firefighters and International Firefighters Association Tuesday.
This recall is ridiculous. Simply put, it's a travesty.
The anti-recall event in Sacramento kicking off what will be months worth of events to convince Californians to keep Newsom in office.
And we look forward to defeating this thing this year and getting back to the important work.
The governor maintains the recall is a Republican-led effort and a waste of millions in taxpayer dollars.
Sir, folks don't believe in science, let alone climate science. They don't believe in the science behind this pandemic. There's a lot at stake for Californians.
An affordable and livable life.
Also in Sacramento, but standing next to a live bear, Republican candidate for Governor John Cox kicking off his own statewide tour. Cox comparing himself to a bear and Newsom a parrot, claiming the governor talks with little action.
Mr. Newsom feeds and checks all the boxes on politics. You know, he talks a good game about diversity and inequality. But, you know, really and truly, he's made life worse for people. He's made life more unequal in many ways.
A compassionate disruptor.
Another Republican candidate, Caitlyn Jenner, releasing her own 3-minute ad on social media Tuesday. The former Olympian and reality star has yet to put out her proposed policies.
Now I enter a different kind of race, arguably my most important one yet.
Newsom says he's not focused on what his opponents are doing, but on vaccine distribution and economic recovery.
So that's where our focus is, where my focus is. Our campaign is focused on defeating this recall.
In Sacramento, Ashley Zavala, 17 News.
And now making news across the state and wildfire news, the Owens fire burning in the Inyo Kern area is now at 85% containment. That's according to the Bureau of Land Management. Nearly 2,000 acres has burned so far. The fire broke out Saturday west of Highways 14 and 395. More than 100 firefighters were called out to help fight that blaze. State lawmakers are calling for more funding for wildfire prevention projects. A proposal to increase the money the state earmarks for wildfire prevention from $200 million to $400 million. It's stalling, though, in the Natural Resources Committee. The proposal would also remove regulatory barriers and eliminate rules under California Environmental Quality Act, known as CEQA. During his press conference yesterday, Governor Newsom said that we should be spending more money on wildfire prevention than the recall effort.
Now to the coronavirus in Kern County. The worst of the pandemic is over, but our cases over the past week are slightly up from the week before. Public Health announced 67 new cases yesterday. Our average is 43 people testing positive daily. Last week, we dropped to 34 daily cases. We also learned of 4 new deaths. 1,358 people have died from this virus since the beginning of the pandemic last March. Meantime, our hospitals are down to the lowest levels in more than a year. Currently, state data shows 21 people are in the hospital with the virus. 4 are in the ICU. As the vaccine rollout continues, more clinics are popping up, with the Kern High School District getting in on the action. They have teamed up with the Kern Public Health Department and Kern Medical for mobile COVID-19 vaccination clinics at multiple school sites. Today, they'll be at North High from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., offering free Pfizer shots to anyone 16 and older. Walk-ups are welcome, but students will be required to fill out a survey before receiving the vaccines. And that's just one of the many sites available to get a free COVID-19 vaccine. To sign up for an appointment, just go to the state's website, myturn.ca.gov. You can also make an appointment to get the shot by calling 833-422-4255.
The White House is expected to give an update today on how money in the American Rescue Plan is being spent. That's the financial side of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And it comes as the president sets a new goal and deadline for vaccinations. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Good morning, Alex and Maddie. With demand for vaccines dropping, the White House is now shifting gears, trying to make it as easy as possible for people to go in and get a shot. With more than 105 million Americans fully vaccinated against COVID-19, the White House hoping to accelerate the return to normal this summer.
Our goal by July 4th is to have 70% of adult Americans with at least one shot and 160 million Americans fully vaccinated.
Distribution shifting from huge mass vaccination sites to smaller local ones, bringing shots directly to the hard to reach.
Many adults have not been vaccinated because they have found it too confusing or too difficult or too inconvenient to get a shot. So for those having trouble finding a location or making an appointment, we're going to make it easier than ever.
Even giving shots at places like pro baseball games and soccer matches.
I got my COVID vaccine. Johnson & Johnson.
It comes as the White House faces a showdown with Republicans on its $2.3 trillion infrastructure bill. Republicans drawing the line at a much smaller $600 billion tab, focusing solely on roads, bridges, and highways.
If it's going to be about infrastructure, let's make it about infrastructure. And I think there is some sentiment on the Democratic side for splitting it off.
Democrats signaling they might go it alone. The president talking to the American people later today on how the American Rescue Plan will work.
We really do hope and still have a real level of optimism about what is possible, but we all have to approach it in an earnest way.
I don't think there's any broad-based support for it, certainly not among Republicans or independents.
Reality with an equally divided Senate. In order to speed vaccine distribution, the White House says soon pharmacies will be offering walk-in visits, meaning people won't need an appointment to go in and get a shot. In Washington, Chris Pallone, 17 News.
The search continues this hour for the accused child killer who's considered armed and dangerous after escaping jail last week. Tyrone Johnson and David Palms escaped jail early last Wednesday. Both are accused of killing 3-year-old Major Sutton in 2017. Palms was tracked down and arrested in Shafter later that day. There's still no sign, though, of Johnson. The escape comes more than a month after the death of the third defendant, Maisha Dale, who was accused of driving both men from the scene in 2017. Meantime, if you see Tyrone Johnson, you're asked to call 911. And 3 people were arrested yesterday morning after a shooting that left 1 man wounded in Buttonwillow. The sheriff's office says the shooting happened around 1:25 a.m. in the 100 block of East 2nd Street. Sheriff's deputies arrested 20-year-old Gurpal Singh, 24-year-old Pedro Carranza, and 20-year-old Brandon Cruz on suspicion of attempted murder. They're each being held on $510,000 bail and are due in court tomorrow. First responders say the victim is expected to survive. Anyone with information on the shooting can call the sheriff's office at 861-3110 or secret witness at 322-4040. We're learning new information this morning about a deadly crash in Hanford that killed a Wasco man. His family's identified him as Lon Mam. He was the owner of Donuts to Go, the only donut shop in Wasco for more than 30 years. The California Highway Patrol says Mam and a man from Tulare died when another driver drifted into the oncoming lanes and hit Mam's car. Alcohol and drugs may have factored into the crash, according to officials. The family left a sign outside the front of the shop announcing they'll be closed until further notice. Community members left flowers and balloons outside the shop to honor Mam. The family thanked the Wasco community for keeping them in their thoughts and prayers during this difficult time.
5:10 now, and since 2019, we have been following the fight for justice that the Dominguez family is battling in honor of their daughter, Demi. The family says she died after doctors failed to recognize signs of preeclampsia during her first pregnancy. Her baby boy, Malachi, also died. 17's Ileana Capayan joins us now with an update. Ileana?
Alex, today is yet another day in the fight for justice with a continuation of the Sunset Review hearing that began back in March. The hearing is used to decide if changes need to be made to the Medical Board of California. The focus of the hearing in March questioned on the Medical Board of California if they protect patients or physicians. Today's hearing is a continuation more focused on the administration aspect of the board and not so much on the enforcement portion. Senator Melissa Hurtado is expected to participate in the hearing once again, like she did in March. The hearing can be live streamed online at senate.ca.gov. There will be a portion of the meeting when the floor is open for public comment and testimony. Now, for more information on the last Sunset Review oversight hearing, head to our website, kget.com. In studio, Ileana Capellan, 17 News.
Thank you, Ileana. 5:11's our time now, and Bakersfield native Jim Ranger is set to perform in the Concert for the Causes fundraiser June 5th at the Kern County Raceway Park. We told you about that earlier this week here on Sunrise. Money raised from the event will go toward the League of Dreams, Mayor Riding Center, and the Wounded Heroes Fund. Jim Ranger rose to fame after being a finalist on season 19 of NBC's The Voice. The concert will take place on June 5th and will also feature Granger Smith, Earl Dibbles Jr., Joe Peters, and Boone's Farm Trio. General admission tickets start at $50. If you want to buy tickets or learn more, you can visit concertforthecauses.com.
That sounds like it'll be a lot of fun.
I know, and it's got the raceway.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it'd be a really cool outdoor event.
Yeah, it should be. We're back now with a look at entertainment news, and a local teacher is set to appear on the TV competition series Game of Talents tonight. You may remember him from this viral video back in 2019.
Summer's over, time for back to school. I just took a placement test, turns out I'm 100% ready. It
was always so impressive to watch him do that. Well, that is Independence Elementary teacher Josh King doing a back-to-school rendition of Lizzo's Truth Hurts. King and Renee Rux will represent Bakersfield as they look to win a $200,000 prize on Game of Talents. The series features two teams of contestants trying to outguess each other and determining which talent a person has simply by looking at them. The episode airs tonight at 9 p.m., so good luck to them both.
Chicago Med, Fire, and PD return tonight here on KGET with all new episodes as Season 6 continues to bring more drama and heart-stopping action. Dr. Ethan Choi, played by actor Brian T., has become a fan favorite on Chicago Med over the years. And this season, we get a glimpse of his own personal struggles with mental health. The pandemic has also been a center storyline in Chicago Med, along with the other ripped from the headlines topics for which show creator Dick Wolf is known. 17's Tammy Melchuk spoke with T, who says this season is a must-watch.
Please continue to keep watching, and these next 4 episodes will be an incredible journey, and especially towards the season finale. You'll see that all of us on Chicago Med will be on certain cliffhangers, and it'll be up to you to see or like which direction they may be going.
Chicago Med airs tonight at 8 o'clock right here on TV 17, followed by new episodes of Chicago Fire and Chicago PD. And make sure to watch 17 News at 5 for more of Tammy's conversation with T.
In sports news, time is running out to attend one of the last Condors games of the season. The final home games are happening tonight, Friday, and Saturday, and there are still a limited amount of tickets left. You can grab single game tickets at AXS.com or purchase for all 3 nights by calling 324-PUCK. or emailing tickets@bakersfieldcondors.com.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
And we're back here at 526. It is Cinco de Mayo, and as our neighbors south of the border celebrate their victory over the French, it's a great excuse for us to enjoy our favorite Mexican treats. Cholula is giving away replacement burritos today to anyone using the code BurritoDown on the DoorDash app. Using the code will unlock $20 toward any order that includes a burrito. Chili's has $5 drink deals on some of their most popular margaritas and beers, and Bahama Breeze has its margarita for $5. The pouch contains a 7-ounce pour of their classic margarita, served to go.
If you're getting an influx of spam and scam texts on your phone, it turns out you're not alone. Spam texts are blowing up on phones in record numbers. Americans received a staggering 7.4 billion spam texts in March, nearly 40% more than the month before. Bad guys seeing more success with a tactic called spear phishing, personalizing messages using information such as your name, job, or a service you use.
Those kind of things brought together allow spear phishing to be much more insidious because it actually acts on something that's relevant to the person it's targeting.
But you can protect yourself with antivirus software, two-factor authentication, and a healthy dose of skepticism. And just a reminder to think before you click.
Education news now. Tensions were high at last night's Fairfax School District Board meeting, with community members calling on several district leaders to step down. At last night's Fairfax School District Board meeting, community members served recall papers against Board President Palmer Moland, along with fellow members Alma Rios and Jose Tapia. This comes after parents and staff complained that Moland abused his power, allegedly bullying and harassing employees.
This evening, I am informing you that we've had enough, that there is nothing more to be said, and that we're taking back our school tonight. With that, I'm here to notify board members Moland, Alma Rios, and Jose Tapia that in pursuant to California Elections Government Code 11021, the voters of this community intend to pursue your recall.
Complaints against Moland go back several months, with a proposal to censure him falling flat in December. Staff members accuse Moland of targeting teachers in social media posts, making false allegations of misconduct, and acting openly hostile towards staff across the district, among other complaints. Meantime, new data says nearly 32% of students in the Kern High School District have returned to campus so far. The school district released the data Monday, just a week after the district finished its gradual reopening, with sophomores and juniors being allowed to return. The district says it plans to fully open in the fall and will offer distance learning only to independent study students.
And after a year of distance learning, Kern High School District seniors will soon get the chance to walk across the stage and accept their diplomas. The district released a graduation schedule. The first ceremony takes place June 1st for those graduating from the Regional Occupational Center, followed by those with career technical education on June 2nd. Most of the ceremonies will take place June 8th and 9th, but there are a couple ceremonies set for June 10th and 11th. For a full list of dates and times, just head to our website, kget.com. We have some breaking news coming into our newsroom this morning of a major injury crash blocking traffic on Highway 65. CHP Bakersfield just sent out this tweet warning drivers to expect delays on Highway 65 at Famoso Road. According to CHP, the crash involved 2 big rigs and 3 other cars. The page reports that one of the big rigs flipped on its side and another jackknifed. It also says one of the cars caught fire, but that fire has since been put out. It is unclear how many people were hurt or when traffic will be cleared. Welcome back in your 17 Health Watch. Adventist Health, in partnership with First 5 Kern, has had their mobile immunization clinics around since the 90s. The focus being getting children vaccinated against preventable diseases. 17's Ileana Capayan joins us now. Ileana, why is this program more important than ever before?
Well, Alex, this program is more important than ever because we are seeing a decline in children receiving their normal booster shots and required immunizations for school. Now, health professionals are worried we may see outbreaks of preventable illnesses due to a fear of catching COVID-19, which kept parents from taking their children in to get routine health care over the past year. Early on in the pandemic, hesitation grew around being in hospitals, doctors' offices, and medical clinics. Because of this, the pandemic has caused child vaccination rates to drop anywhere from 12 to 20% in comparison to pre-pandemic times.
Because of the pandemic, you had a lot of kids who were not in school, they were home learning, they were not getting seen for their well visits at their pediatrician's office, and because they weren't actually having to go to school and the school wasn't checking, you had a lot of kids that were falling off. CARE is the California Immunization Registry. They track all of the immunization data from pediatric doctors' offices across the state. This year, data shows unfortunate effects on child vaccination rates. So compared to pre-pandemic, 12% fewer kids under the age of 3 got their first MMR vaccine. 19% fewer kids 4 to 6 received their second MMR vaccine, and 20% fewer adolescents that are the age of 11 to 13 received their Tdap booster. The MMR vaccine protects against measles, mumps, and rubella, while the Tdap vaccine protects against tetanus,
diphtheria, and pertussis. Both of these vaccines are required for school.
Child well-being is kind of at the heart of what we're after. And in order for a kid to be well, right, we want them in school, we want them learning. And they can't be in school and learning if they're sick, if they've got, exposure to some of these childhood, illnesses. They're not going to be in class. So the goal is to do this preventative work on the forefront, so that later on down the road, we're not having to deal with outbreaks.
Adventist Health will be hosting a mobile vaccine clinic today in the Albertsons parking lot located at 1520 Brundridge Lane. They will be there from 9 to 11:30 in the morning and 12 to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. A second mobile vaccine clinic will be held at the Walmart parking lot on Colony Street on Thursday. For more details and a full list of the upcoming clinics, visit our website, kget.com. In studio, Ileana Capellan, 17 News.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.